What's going on, guys? Something from Nothing, episode 5, or I think it's 5, yeah. I woke up at 5:20 this morning as always. Absolutely didn't feel like it, and struggled immensely this morning with wanting to get back in bed, like very, very much so. I did not want to do the things that I had to do this morning, like in any way, shape, or form. I had to get up, do my morning routine. I snowboarded yesterday. It was like the first time I've ever took off. Like, I still worked yesterday morning. I still came home and worked that evening, but like I still consider that 4 or 5 hours snowboarding like taking off. And then I went out to eat afterwards. Like, that's the first time that I've took off ever since I started this fitness mindset business. And it was good. It was good, but it's hard to take mentally to process for me, honestly. Like, it just kind of makes me feel like, what else could I have used that time for? I could have worked. I could have, did something more beneficial. But it doesn't matter, because it does. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter, because I still got up today and I still got done what needs to get done. And that's the problem with a lot of people that I'm talking to, and that's the problem with myself. Is that's the thing that you struggle with, is that you'll do something. As soon as you mess up, you'll let that mess up control every other aspect, and then you just start failing in everything else. Like, you can't do that. Like, this is exact reason why, most people that decide to quit something like a drug or any kind of vice, as soon as they allow themselves to do it again, they can't just realize the fact that, like, we're human and we make mistakes, and then they just self-sabotage themselves, and then in return gives themselves the reasons why they can just continue to keep doing that vice again after they've quit. Most people can't, like, stop drinking or stop smoking and then do it once and then just get up the next day and just keep working. You know what I mean? Like, that's just like the easiest way for me to explain it, because it's a vice. It's a drug. It draws you to it. And that's what, for instance, I have extremely addictive personality. So what have I used that addictive personality for? A lot of times I've used it for lust. I've used it for drugs. I've used it for things I shouldn't have, you know what I mean? And like, those go into different categories and things like that. But mainly those two, lust and substances, You have to learn how to take the abilities, because if you see them as negatives, if you see them as downsides, that's all you ever use them for. If you take those things like ADHD or an addictive personality or whatever it may be, and you figure out how you can use it to your benefit, there's a reason why autistic kids are smart as hell. You know what I mean? They don't have the negativity factor like us. I'm not saying like us normal people, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. They know how to be extremely smart, and they don't let their autism get to, you know what I mean, in the general aspect. And that's the thing with my addictive personality, is that I used to use that on things that didn't benefit me at all, whereas now I just take my passion for wanting to help people, my passion for wanting to change people's lives physically and mentally. That's my addictive personality. I am addicted to this. I'm addicted to helping people. I'm addicted to spending every second of every single day working on what I want to do, working what I know that is best for me, and that is actually going to help change other people's lives. I'm not going to put myself around a circle of people that will tell me, oh, well, you shouldn't do this, or, well, you should do this. I've got to do what's best for me, man. It's always funny that whenever you're around, your group of friends or your family, and there's cupcakes and there's cakes or there's fried foods around, and you want to say, I don't want to do it. And that's when they're like, oh, you've got to live a little. You got to live a little. You got to live a little, buddy. You come on, man. But they're the ones that are fat, bro. Like, I look at them and they're fat and they're unhealthy. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, I'm trying to better myself, but yet you're gonna act this way, and you're almost gonna try to, like, manipulate in a way and make me feel bad for not eating your food, or eating the food, just because you're insecure that I am doing something to better myself and you're not. That's what it comes down to. Like, and that might piss a lot of people off, but like, that's literally what it comes down to is, hey, you are insecure at the fact that that person is trying to better themselves. And so mentally, you can't take that they have the balls to say no to something. And so you just try to self-sabotage them by making them feel like a piece of shit for not indulging in the same thing that you're doing. That's literally what that is. Like, you have got to surround yourself with the only people you can surround yourself with if you actually want to better your life is yourself. Yourself. I have isolated myself from majority of my family. I'm not saying I don't talk to them at all. I'm not sitting here saying, most people are like, oh, that's unhealthy, that's unhealthy. Well, I'm the happiest I've ever been. So, I mean, if you want to make that make sense, that's up to you. But like, don't get me wrong, I still am in contact with my grandparents. I visit them, here and there. But you know what I mean? We've had so many, I wouldn't say arguments, but conversations back and forth about everything that I'm doing. And I got to a point where I told my mama, I was like, hey, Mama, I want to be able to still come over here. I want to still be able to talk to you. And I wasn't being rude. It's my grandparents. I was raised to respect. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. It's always how I've been. I'm a very respectful person. But that's what I said, Mama. I can't come over here anymore if we talk about this stuff. I can't allow it. It's negativity. I can't, because I gotta believe in me. I'm delusional, and I know this sounds crazy to you. I know that this life that I talk about, that I'm working so hard to get, sounds crazy to you. It sounds unimaginable to you. But I've got to be the one that believes in it. And if there's anyone in my life that's consistently there on a day-to-day basis, or even 3 to 4 days a week, if they're not in line with those goals, I do not have room for you in my life. I don't. And that's not because I'm better than you. It's not because I have some egotistical side of me that's like, I'm better than you. It's nothing to do with that, right? I have a counterpart, right? I have a lady. She's pretty much the only person that's around me. And I don't even allow her, I don't mean it in that way, but to be around me that much. Like, not really allowed to come over. No spending the nights, you know what I mean? Unless it's like, you know what I mean? Unless it has to be, depending on the situation. But no, like, I cannot have that distraction. And even though she's not a distraction, even though that the only reason that, not the only reason, she wouldn't be in a relationship with me, and I wouldn't be in a relationship with her if she didn't understand my goals and where I want to go and what it's going to take to get there. And quite frankly, I've had this conversation with her where I've told her, hey, like, there was a conversation where I sat down with her and I was like, I don't expect you to go through this with me. Like, when I really decided to lock in, when I really was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to lock in, I'm going to change my life, and I'm going to have to cut out a lot of things. Like, most of it's going to be things that I don't want to do. And I told her, I said, Brooke, I'm because mentally, dude, it's rough, bro. And I was a sinking ship at the time. Sometimes still feels like that. And I told her, I said, Brooke, you don't have to do this, and I'm not forcing you to be in this relationship with me. I'm not forcing you to be in this relationship with me, but if you do, and I knew she did, Brooke loves me. But I told her, I was like, this is just how it's gonna have to be. Like, this is what it's gotta be. This is how it's gotta go. And it's mostly, it's probably 100% men that are watching this, so I don't have to sit here and talk about, like, oh, well, why that's right and not, because y'all know how women are. But I am so fortunate, I'm so blessed to have someone like that, right? I sometimes am, am like in that mindset of like, man, this would be so easy not easy. This would be easier to go on this journey by myself. There's a reason why most guys in this journey do this alone. They cut out the chicks, they cut out the drugs, they cut out everything. And I'm just blessed enough to have an extra support system by my side right now, because outside of that, it is literally just me, myself, and I. When you are in your 20s and you are young, and this is what something that she understands, and it's a reason why we're able to make this work. You got to be a little selfish. You got to invest most of your time right back into you. Your time, your energy, your passions, your goals, your finances, right back into you. You got to put it right back into you. Dude, oh my gosh, bro, I'm about to fall asleep. I can feel it. Okay. What? God, take it, man. Oh, come on, man. But again, it's not easy, but it is simple. It's a very simple process. Like once you lock in and once you're like, okay, this is what I gotta do. No one is gonna stand in my way. It doesn't matter if it's a friend. It doesn't matter if it's a family member. It doesn't matter if it's a drug. You have got to do what is required to take your life from point A to point B. You've got to. I had to make that decision that, hey, no one is going to save me. No one is going to save my family from the position they're in. No one's going to save me from the position that I'm in. I have got to get up and make the things happen that need to happen to change my life in the way that I want it to. If you can see it here and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen. Wise words of Conor McGregor. Right? I see everything here. I am already the man that I want to be here. The only difference between me and a lot of other people, because a lot of other people will have that delusion, or they'll watch TikToks and Instagram and they have this mental masturbation where they see the cars, they see this facade of like all this money and everything, but they don't realize that the person that you have to become to get there. You don't realize that the guy that drives that Lambo, the guy that drives that Porsche or whatever it is, he still has the same problems that he had, and still to an extent, but still has the same mental struggles and frustration and just life struggles in general than he did when he was driving a used sub 2010 vehicle. You know what I mean? Like, it's still the same guy. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, he had to become that person that was able to get that Lamborghini, that was able to be able to wear that watch, that was able to have that high value woman, the law of attraction. You know what I mean? Like, it's as simple as that. You want a high value woman? You want a woman that's up to your standard? Increase your standards. Make yourself to the point where you can deserve a high value woman, because most of you want this sexy woman that is a woman that cooks and cleans and is supports of your goals and all this stuff, but yet you don't have the balls to increase your standard and become the man that can deserve a woman like that. That's what a lot of you don't understand, is that you want these things, you want this different life, and you want to change, but you're not willing to make a change in your life to make those things happen. Something is going to change if you make a change. Nothing will change if nothing changes. You have got to make that decision that's like, okay, where do I want to go? Who do I want to be? What do I have to do to get there? And what is it going to take every single day, no matter how I feel? And that's what I realized. That's what I had to do within myself, is realize that it's not going to matter how I feel. And there's mostly going to be days that I don't want to do it. There's mostly going to be days that just fucking suck, bro. That just suck. Today, and see, even that right there, as soon as I say that, as soon as I fucking say that, that's wrong, because it doesn't suck, because I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be able to walk this life. I'm blessed to be able to have the passions, the goals, the dreams, the desires that I have for myself and my future family. And I have to see it that way, because when you see it as it sucks, when you see it as, man, I hate doing this, that's all your brain is going to relate all the things that you have to go through to. That's the only thing you're going to relate it to. Whereas when I wake up at 5:20, when I do my 50 push-ups, when I read the Bible, when I do my 5 minutes with God, when I read Another one of my business books. When I drink my 32 ounces of water, when I drink my black coffee, when I go to the gym and I do my 30 minutes of cardio, boom, 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 boom. You see, when I do that, I am blessed that I can be able to do that. I get to do that. I don't have to. I get to do that. Some guys have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning because they have to be at a job. They have to go to this job. I don't have to be anywhere. I get to choose to wake up that early. I choose to do those push-ups. I choose to do those things. And I get to. And that's a blessing within itself, dude. And see that even right there, you get to see that side of my mentality. I still look at things and I still fucking hate shit. I still look at things and I'm like, dude, this sucks. I don't want to do this. But when you increase your standards as a man, and when you become that person, your mentality and the way that you say things and the way that you process things shift, right? I am this person now. I'm this high. I'm at this level of a high value man. And let's say I was here 6 months ago, a year ago, whatever, and I'm gonna be here 6 months from now. This is my mentality now. When I sat there just a second ago and I said that sucked, that was this mentality. But because my increase of standard has been established, now I can be able to implement that immediately. And I don't sit there and subjugate myself to, oh man, this sucks. Oh, it's 8 o'clock now. And I have to record a YouTube. No, bro. I don't record these YouTubes scheduled. I don't ever schedule these out. I only make them when the mornings that suck. This morning was balls, dude. Oh my gosh, man. Like, just wanted to go back. I literally was like so set on, I'm gonna do my morning routine, I'm gonna post my Instagram stories, and then I'm gonna go back to sleep. But see, that was that old mindset. And immediately, and when I mean immediately, I don't mean a couple minutes later or like 20 minutes later. I mean immediately. I'm like, no, this is exactly where I become a better version of myself. This is exactly what pushes me. This is exactly what is going to separate you from the 99%. Is where when you get from that place, when you get to that place where you're like, fuck, I don't want to do this. This is going to suck. You say, no, fuck no. I'm going to do it. No one's going to be there to push me down. No one's going to be there to break me down, because I'm only going to surround myself around me, myself, and I. And when I don't want to do it, that's exactly when I am going to do it, because that's going to take me from this person to this person. That's going to take me from this point of my life to this point of my life. That's going to take me from a low standard man to a high value man. It's doing the things that you don't want to do. 99% of you can literally become the 1% by simply staying consistent with the things that you don't want to do day in and day out, no matter how you feel, no matter who's around you, because the reality of it is that you cannot care about how you feel and what objectives are in your way, because the people that make it are the people that let the struggles and the mountains that come in their life and they figure out how to get across them, whereas most people just have these mountains come up and they're like, well shit, you know what I mean? Well shit, as simple as that. My thing's about to go off. For any of you who watch you haven't watched my videos before, my camera always cuts off at 20 minutes, so I didn't clip it. I like to keep these raw and unedited. But anyway, so the biggest thing when it comes to becoming the highest version of yourself, having the balls, having the charisma to do all that, simply comes down to how long are you willing to work without seeing the results. I have a client, and the kid's been doing great. He's doing really good, but he's only been with me for about a month, and he's just like, man, like he was gaining weight, and then he's one of those really skinny guys. He's got that really skinny build, and he had like he was just pissed off. He was pissed off that he couldn't gain weight. He was like, I can't gain weight, I can't gain weight, I can't gain weight. And because he had gained weight and he had like lost some and everything like that. You know, he's got a high metabolism, and so he's like, man, dude, like I just want to be there so bad. I want to be there so bad. I'm like, dude, you've only been doing it you haven't been doing it for a month yet fully, right? Most people like will come to me and be like, I've tried this, and then ask them how long they've did it, and they've only did it for a month. Like, you think trying it for a month? Here in 6 days, it'll be the 19th, and it'll be 2 months ever since I posted my first video on Instagram since I started this journey. And I still don't expect results yet, because it's just not how it works. But I won't stop. I will not stop. Y'all are gonna see this process. Like, this video is not gonna get very many views at all, but later down the road, when I've created a successful business out of this, people are gonna look back and be able to watch this video, and they're gonna be like, holy shit, like, whoa, like this kid actually did it. You know what I mean? It doesn't take a couple weeks or a couple months. It takes 10 times longer than you expect it to take, but it happens faster than you'll ever imagine. And that's something that I have to continue to remind myself is that, hey, this is going to take way longer than I expect it to. But when it happens, it's going to happen so much quicker than I ever thought it would. And that is the epiphany of success. That's the epiphany of kind of business, is that, like, hey, you just don't know when it's going to happen, but you got to trust in yourself. Right? A 9 to 5, it's just comforting. I know I can go into work and I know that I can make money. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. And if that's what makes you happy, that's what makes you happy. But I cannot. Excuse me. I can't live that way, dude. I have never been more depressed than when I was working a 9 to 5. The only time I've been happy is when I've been in struggles. The only time I've been happy is when I was in sales, when I had to sleep in my car for a week, when I had to drive to Pennsylvania from Virginia, when I had to drive to Indiana from Virginia, and I would sleep in my car. And I would drive 200 plus miles a day, driving around, doing insurance and things like that, in the midst of having a toxic ass girlfriend that would, oh my gosh, bro, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be able to sleep at nights because of these little arguments, and I was a little bitch back then, you know what I mean? I'm so sorry, when I didn't even do anything wrong, you know what I mean? Like, this stuff is, it's not for the faint of heart, dude. Like, it takes so much time. And when you are an entrepreneur, when you are working for yourself and doing even if you're working through a business, but you're still like you're doing sales or whatever it is, just keep pushing, bro. Keep going. Don't stop. And remind yourself that every person that you look up to, that are in a position where you want to be, they were where you were right now. They were where you are right now. They went through the same process that you did right now. And the only difference between that guy and you is he's just did it longer. And the only difference between the version of you that makes it and the version of you that doesn't make it, the only difference, one of you believes in yourself and one of you quits. You either work till it happens, or you just quit. You just quit, man. And remember that health is wealth, right? For a lot of you guys that are out there and you're in business or anything like that, or even you're just working a blue collar job or a 9 to 5, dude, and you want to get better, eat clean, eat healthy. This is kind of like not like what I really talk about, but that's another really big thing too. Health is wealth, right? I will spend more money on my groceries than I do on anything else, man. I'm lucky that I have grandparents that have chickens, so I get eggs straight out of the ass, man. Like, just right there, sweet. Raw milk, beef, chicken, eggs, berries, fruit, honey, yogurt, keep it clean, keep it natural, dude, and I promise you, it'll make you feel 10 times better too. It'll help you with your muscle growth, it'll help you with your recovery. Sleep, get your 8 hours of sleep in, dude. Like, dude, little things like that. You don't prioritize those things, and then you expect to get changes and you expect to get results when you eat one clean, healthy meal, or for one day you hit your calorie goal. Dude, you have got to day in and day out hit this stuff. You can't, like, when guys come to me and they're like, yo, yeah, like I've did this, and this, and I'm like, how long? And they're like, oh, 2-3 days. And they're coming to me asking why they don't have results yet. Are you kidding me? Dude, I've been working out for like 5 years, dude, and to me, I still look like shit. But that is why the gym is one of the best things for businesses, because it teaches delayed gratification. It teaches work. Having to do the work outside of the work, and then having to do the sleep outside of the work that you're putting in for the work. You know what I mean? Like, the work being the gym, the work that you got to put for the work is the food that you're eating after the gym and before the gym, and then the sleep that you got to put into the recovery of the food that you're putting into yourself that are fueling the workouts that are making you bigger. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, it really gives, and that's why a lot of guys in the gym are like typically successful, dude. Like, very commonly, if a guy is consistent in the gym, they're at a higher value of life. They just are. It's just as simple as that. Like, they don't fail to the things that most people do, because there's days where they don't want to go to the gym, and they're like, no, fuck, I'm going to go to the gym, bro, and I'm going to get a pump, and then afterwards they feel so much better. And that's how it always is, man. When I get in that cold shower this morning, I never want to do it when I'm standing right in front of that water, but then as soon as I step in, and it sucks, but I'm like, dude, I get to do this. I get to get in this cold shower, and then I get to get out, and then I feel refreshed, and I feel amazing, and then it feels like I just slept 10 hours, you know what I mean? And I'm awake for about another 30 minutes, and then I start falling asleep again, and then I go do my cardio, and then I wake up again, and then I come here and I start making a video, and y'all see me, I've been yawning freaking this whole video. But anyways, that's enough of my thoughts. I'm kind of bone dry for the day. But this was good. I needed to do this. I needed to get my thoughts out, because that's the other thing too, is that oh shit, that was a good one. Not that I like internalize my problems and everything like that, and like have an unhealthy mindset, but I also don't get to talk much about the shit that I'm going through. I mean, you know what I mean? So it's good for me to get it out. But anyways, I love y'all guys. I hope y'all kill it. If you're serious, and I mean if you're serious about changing your life and developing the highest version of yourself mentally, physically, you know, within a 90 to 180 day period, DM me on Instagram. Again, it'll be in the description. But I love y'all. For any one of you, if there is any of you that has watched this whole video, again, I love you. Like, I know that I'm not the best on the camera. I'm still not. I'm getting there. But I do my best. I do my best to take what I'm thinking internally and making it external without going on too many rabbit holes. Because, gosh dang it, I know I do that too. And I'm going to get better at, you know, completing the thoughts and completing the things that I'm talking about when I do. But again, that's the other thing too, is that like these videos aren't for, like, this isn't like some podcast thing where I'm like talking about how to be, you know, this way. Like, that's for my one-on-one guys, because there's no general way to, it is personalized. It's for you, one-on-one, not, you know, I'll just throw you into a group call with a bunch of other guys and we go over just a bunch of basic general shit. This is literally down to the T, your lifestyle. When do you work? When are we gonna eat? When are we gonna train? When are we gonna do this? What's the mindset that's gonna take to do it? You know, X, Y, and Z. That is one-on-one personal relationship I make you the best version of yourself. I give you and hold your hand the whole way. You just got to be the one that does the work. Develop the mindset that I help you get, and then you have it for the rest of your life. And then everyone's happy. So anyways, I love y'all guys. I hope y'all have a blessed week. Kill it, crush it. Stay disciplined.